play the other guy. You're doing it, Lord. We are so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you for your enthusiasm, for your passion. We get to build on this franchise for the third time. It's very exciting. I think you guys are going to love it. Bigger, better, and faster.
Is anybody here a fan of Sonic Adventure 2?
Yeah! The speed of sound.
Happy holidays everyone, I'm Porky P here, and today I'll be giving my thoughts on the film I've been anticipating this entire year, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. The hype surrounding this film need not be explained. This movie has been one of the biggest things Sonic fans have waited for this year, along with Shadow Generations, which I absolutely adore by the way. Anyway, since everyone is raving about this thing, and we all know that most people love it, I'm gonna go ahead and make this a spoiler review. There's just so much I want to talk about, but I'll let you guys know when that time comes. Sonic 3. Now, I won't lie, the trailers do reveal a lot about this movie, and with certain things like specific action figures being released, I pretty much knew how the story would go. That didn't bother me though, because knowing this story was gonna have elements taken from Sonic Adventure 2, I didn't expect many surprises plot-wise anyway. It's basically what we've been shown. Team Sonic has to stop Shadow and the two Robotniks from meddling with planet Earth. What that means exactly though, is a bit of a spoiler, and I'll get into that later on. What I will say is that this movie did a fantastic job at progressing the character development we saw in the past two movies. Like Ben Schwartz said in a recent interview, Sonic really feels as if he's maturing quite a bit with each film. In this one, taking note of what it means to be a leader and trusting his teammates. I really enjoy what Ben has done with this character over the years. He's such a great actor, and he shines as Sonic. Onto Jim Carrey as Ivo Robotnik. This man has not missed a single beat and is still such a pleasure to see on screen. With his updated look, he felt more like Eggman than he ever has. He also felt more like Robotnik because there's literally two of them this time. Now, how they handled the character of Gerald was quite different from the games, and due to spoilers, I'll get more into his role later on in the review. Of course, with Team Sonic returns Colleen O'Shaughnessy as Tails and Idris Elba as Knuckles. There's still two amazing additions to this cast and really help form a great trio alongside Ben's Sonic. You could really feel the brotherly love between the three of them in this one, and the way their team grows to have a better understanding of each other and their roles was great to see. Now then, onto the absolute highlight of this film for me, Keanu Reeves as Shadow the Hedgehog. My god, this man captured Shadow's essence so perfectly it astonishes me. Keanu is a phenomenal actor and it continues to blow me away how great he truly is. To be quite honest, after playing the Shadow Generations DLC, I was actually pretty iffy on his voice performance. I don't know what was going on in the game, but he sounded like really strange and not at all what he sounds like in the movie. His performance in the actual film won me over immediately. He oozed Shadow's edgy and dark nature and really dug into the emotional core of the character. His relationship with Maria was also delved into much more than I expected, and I loved seeing how the tragedy he faced turned him into the hedgehog he is in present day. 10 out of 10 for Keanu, my favorite character in the entire film 100%. As for the human characters, I'm very glad to say they don't overstay their welcome like in the previous films, and I actually enjoyed how they were portrayed in this one. The CGI characters take the reins in this one, and it worked so much better. Overall, the movie's plot and structure was what I anticipated and had much of what I hoped for. Incredible pacing and never hit a slow spot for me. Main thing I could do without is the kiddie humor. It's just not for me. But it's a kids movie. What do you expect? Alright, on to the most exciting aspect of this movie, the action. You know, besides just being a director, Jeff Fowler is also an animator, and he clearly prioritizes visuals on a whole other level. These sequences were like no other. I cannot describe how epic and grand these fight scenes felt. Imagine watching a fight from an anime in real life. That's what these scenes felt like. The Tokyo chase scene between Sonic and Shadow seen in the trailer was an insane way to introduce Shadow and kicked off the movie in such an amazing fashion. Sonic spin dashing all over the place, Shadow's teleporting and catching you off guard, and it was awesome how you could feel how powerful Shadow is through his punches and the way he fights. Shout out to the film's animators because they achieved something I've never seen before in a live-action game adaptation. Honest perfection. As for the film's score and soundtrack, it improves upon the last two and was less generic this time around. Also, surprisingly, it actually included more music from the games. There's a quick snippet of Eggman's theme from SA2, Green Hill Zone plays again, and of course, as we all know, Live and Learn was gonna play at some point, and Lord, the way it comes in, I lost my shit. I didn't even mention, I got the crowd so hyped with my cheers throughout this movie. I'm really happy the audience was having as much fun as me. Such a fun crowd. Okay, now before I get into spoilers, let me go and grade this movie. As of right now, I'm gonna give this movie a 9. It's the best of the 3 and has very little to improve on. Closest we've gotten to a perfect video game movie. Bravo, Mr. Fowler. Well done. Alright y'all, if you haven't seen this thing, this is the point where spoilers will be spoiled. I feel the way they handled Maria's death was handled perfectly. You can't shoot a little girl in a kids movie, it just won't work out. Now, being collateral damage from an explosion, that can sit better with parents. So, speaking of tweaking things, while the movie was pretty much just SA2's storyline, the liberties the writers did take with changing the plot were pretty drastic. For example, they actually had Gerald be an honest-to-God villain, which he wasn't in the source material. I was hoping there'd be some sort of twist where he decides against using the Eclipse cannon, and that twist never came. He fully intended on destroying humanity. I thought that was a bit strange and very different from what we know of the character, but it served the film's plot well, and he's clearly not SA2's Gerald. Additionally, I was really hoping either one of these characters were just kept secret and would come into the film at some point, but Amy and Rouge weren't a part of the plot whatsoever. I mean, to be frank, their inclusion definitely would have given the movie a lot to juggle, as there was already so much going on without them. In the grand scheme of things, these two gripes aren't major and didn't bother me too much while watching the movie. You can't expect the movie to be a carbon copy of the source material if you want it to be original. However, as a diehard Sonic fan I am, I would have preferred if they eventually made Gerald the positive mentor for Shadow he's supposed to be. Shadow's last memory of his father figure shouldn't have been a negative one, but that's just my 2 cents. Now on to what I absolutely loved, and I mean loved about this movie. Shadow's redemption arc towards the end was masterfully written and couldn't have been executed any better than it was. Witnessing Shadow make a complete 180 after hearing Sonic's version of great power comes great responsibility was truly wonderful to see. I felt as though I went on this journey with him, being filled with anger seeing him lose everything, and then realizing that his loss can actually help drive him to do good instead. This scene between the two of them atop of the moon was such an emotional masterpiece. This franchise always hits home with each of its film's messages. Alright, enough of the sappy stuff. The scene that follows was pure legitness. Super Sonic and Shadow stopping the Eclipse cannon from obliterating the Earth while Live and Learn played in the background. I haven't cheered that loud in the theater in a long time. I'm so happy that I lived long enough to see both of them hit the SA2 intro pose on a fucking movie theater screen. So, did Eggman actually die this time? Doesn't really feel like he could have survived this one. I mean, we did see Metal Sonic, or should I say Metal Sonics, in the post-credits, right? Or maybe Agent Stone created them. Maybe he blames the team for Eggman's probable death? Who knows? All I know is that they'll have Amy by their side in the next one. She looks so good, I can't wait. Well guys, I think that's all I have to say for this one. I absolutely adore this film. I honestly believe this is the best film adaptation of a video game, and I can't wait to see it again tomorrow. That's right, December 20th, round 2. Hope you guys liked this review, and I will catch you all next time.